Number 1. Apple iPhone SE. The phone that strikes the right balance of camera versatility, speed, battery life, software, and longevity for most people is the Apple iPhone SE 2020. Even though it's over a year old now, it should still give you an excellent return on your investment. We recommend upgrading to the model with 128GB of storage for $449, which is $50 over the base price but well worth it long term. The 2020 SE is a part of the iPhone 11 generation, so its a 13 Bionic processor is a year behind the latest and greatest. Battery life is good but not best in class. It should last about a day. Luckily, this iPhone supports wireless charging, which is still uncommon at this price point. And because it has the exact same shape as the iPhone 6, 6s, 7, and 8, there is a whole ecosystem of chargers and cases for it. Unlike many inexpensive Android phones, finding compatible accessories for the iPhone SE will be a breeze. The iPhone SE has just one camera on the back and just selfie camera on the front, 12 megapixel and 7 megapixel respectively. Neither is great by 2021 standards, but both are significantly better than what Apple shipped in older iPhones. Number 2. Google Pixel 5a. The $449 Pixel 5a features a 6.34-inch OLED screen that's on the smaller side for the budget class but is bigger than the previous generation 6.2-inch panel on the Pixel 4a 5G. There's a bigger battery too, a 4680 mAh cells that will last through a full day of heavy use and well into the day if you are a lighter user. The 5A also offers IP67 water resistant for added peace of mind in the event of accidental spills or tumbling into the water. The double standard ultra-wide rear-facing camera Snapdragon 765G processor and 6GB RAM 128GB storage combination serve the 4A 5G well and still deliver solid performance in this iteration. There are also, of course, 5G connectivity. You won't get the super fast wave level of 5G support, but that's highly range limited network that's still pretty hard to find. That's fine, but there's a weird question mark over whether Google support another set of frequency that AT&T and Verizon will start using later this year called C-band. The company is not committing to making the necessary software update to use it. The 5A is also getting somewhat of limited release. It's only available in the US and Japan. It is not being sold through any of major US wireless carriers. Taking all of that into consideration, the Pixel 5a is still the inexpensive Android phone that we recommended to most people. It's not flashy, but it's well priced and has it where it counts. Number 3. Samsung Galaxy A52 5G. On the Android side, the Galaxy A52 5G is a great option. At the very top of the price range considered in this guide, it includes some features that aren't too common in a budget phone, like its fast refresh rate screen, an IP67 water resistant rating, and for now at least monthly security update for fast. It includes some features that aren't too common in budget phone, like its fast refresh rate screen and IP67 water resistant rating. And for now, at least monthly security update for fast access to bug fixes and improvement. The A52 5G's 6.5-inch screen is on OLED panel that's bright with a good contrast that generally nice to look at, but is the best feature is the subtle one a 120Hz refresh rate that give a much smoother appearance to animation and content as you swipe and scroll through menu and social feeds. We likely see this feature make its way into more budget phones soon. But for now, the A52 5G is one of only a few to offer better than standard 60Hz screen in its class, and it makes the experience of using the phone that much nicer. The phone overall performed well for its class with a Snapdragon 750G processor and 6GB of RAM. You may notice the occasional hesitation or stutter with heavy tasks, but otherwise everyday scrolling, app switching, and navigating is handled easily. And even with the power-hungry display, the Galaxy A52 5G's 4,500 mAh battery should get you through at least a day of moderate to heavy use before needing another charge. Number 4. Motorola Moto G Power 2021. The Moto G Power does exactly what it says it will, provide days and days of power on a single charge. Thanks to its larger than average 5,000 mAh battery, this is a slightly different version of last year's phone with the same name, and it starts at a lower $200 price. The lower price tag does come with trade-off. It includes just 32GB of built-in storage, so adding a microSD card for some extra space is a must. There is also slightly slower processor on board, and while it's capable enough for all of your daily needs, it's a little laggy jumping between apps and opening the camera. As for the camera, it's just okay. Motorola did away with the ultrawide in this year's models, so you just be working with the 48MP standard wide and 2MP macro camera. In additional 2MP macro camera in addition to an 8MP selfie cam. Photos in bright outdoor light look good with plenty of detail. Tough color can be little washed out. The camera struggles with high contrast scenes and low light, but all things considered, it's fine for $200 phone. If top-notch battery performance is an extremely important feature in your smartphone, then the Moto G Power should be on your shortlist. It's capable and you really will get multiple days of battery life on the charge. But if you're fine getting by on a battery that's just average, you will be happier with a more well-rounded device. Number 5. Motorola Moto G Play 2021. There are plenty of options for those shopping on the tighter budget, but the Motorola G Play is the one that stands out to us. It covers the basic well with a big 5,000 mAh battery, Snapdragon 460 processor that does a good enough job handling daily tasks. The G Play has a generously sized 6.5-inch screen, is a lower resolution panel at 720p, and it's difficult to see outside in direct light, but it's more or less just fine. Camera specs are likewise basic. There's just one rear-facing 13MP camera that performs well in bright light but is not well suitable for low-light photography. You also want to strongly consider a microSD card purchase with this phone. It only includes 32GB of built-in storage, a lot of which is already occupied by system files. Motorola has only promised security updates for 2 years, but realistically, the G Play is not built to last much longer than that. It has shortcomings. The G Play's performance does not keep up with many phones that are just $5 until $100 more expensive. It's hard to argue with what it does offer for this price. Basic performance without any major flaw. If there's flexibility in your budget to spend a little more, you will get some meaningful upgrade like a better camera or longer lasting device. But for its price, The G Play does just what it needs to.